Hi there. Today we're going to cook a turkey the way you would have back around 1850 using a shaker style reflector oven and a spit. And this is a stove that my dad had made by a tinsmith, modeled after one that they would have used back in the 1850s. And he had these steel parts made by a blacksmith. And what it is basically you will put the turkey on the spit, you'll drive these stakes through it, and then use some sort of wire to attach the turkey to the spit. And then if you want to come over here, Jaden, stick the turkey in the oven, set it next to the fire here. We got a fire going to get some coals going, and we'll use some charcoal to supplement that. And on the side here, you have a series of holes that go all the way around. He marked one hole so you can tell where you start. And then every 15 minutes, you'll rotate the steel spit to the next slot, which basically rotates the turkey. So every 15 minutes, you have to rotate that. Depending on the size of the turkey, you might be 3 hours cooking the turkey. That's essentially the equipment we're going to be using. We got our fire going. We'll go inside and get the turkey attached to the spit here in a minute and get this thing going. So we're back in the kitchen here with Claire, and we're going to attach the turkey to the spit. We did do some trimming work. We cut the tail part off and the neck part off, and now we're going to drive the spit through the turkey, kind of get it somewhat centered. Grab our spike. And then you have to find one of the holes on the spit to line up with your spike. Okay. And then drive it through the other side of the turkey. Maybe. There we go. Glad I didn't get my finger. Alright. So the spike goes all the way through the turkey. That way when this turns, the turkey will turn with it. So what we're going to do is
put a piece of wire through that.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to wire up these legs and wings so that they're not flopping all around as we're turning the turkey. So that should be good for the legs. Cut that off and just twist that in there. And then we are going to do the wings so that they're not flopping around. And drive it through run that through the spike. And around to keep the wings from flopping. try and spin this with a pair of linesman's pliers here.
Just wrap it around.
That'll keep our wings in place. And just something else to note, so when you're cooking this over the fire adds all your flavoring, so we're not gonna, you know, brine this thing or rub it with oil or anything like that. You just kind of put it on the spit and roast it au natural. So next we're going to take it out to the fire and put it in the oven. Okay, so now we're going to attach we got our turkey attached to the spit. We're going to stick it in the oven, and you slide the spear point through the hole on the one side, and now you can see as we spin that, it will all stay attached to the spit. So we're going to start on our marked spot. I'm going to lay some coals here, and then every 15 minutes we're going to go ahead and turn this. So I'm going to get some hot coals from our fire here. And we'll add some charcoal to this later, but right now we're going to start with this line of coals here. And that's going to be the heat for the oven. And then I'll just set an alarm or a timer on my phone every 15 minutes.
That's fine now. That's good.
So at 15 minutes, starting now, we're going to go ahead and start turning our turkey. Okay, so it's been an hour, and every 15 minutes we've been turning it one notch on the oven, and so every 15 minutes you got to turn it one notch and get some coals from your fire and lay out new hot coals. So we're going to go ahead and turn it one more notch here, and we're going clockwise. You have to make sure you're turning it the same rotation every time. And then we'll take and strip the old coals, throw those back into the fire, and get a new shovel full of coals here. Lay out some new hot coals. In this whole process, you got to make sure you keep your fire stoked and making more coals here. And we're also going to start some charcoal for the Dutch ovens. We're going to make a ham and potatoes. What else are we making in the Dutch oven? Ham, potatoes,
And stuffing.
and stuffing. So we're going to start some charcoal here at about an hour before the turkey's done. We're going to go ahead and start the other stuff in the Dutch oven. So stay tuned, and we'll keep it going. Okay, so our turkey's going along pretty well. You can see it looks like it's cooking pretty well, and so we're going to rotate and change our coals again, like we've been doing, and we're also going to start our potatoes. And I'll show you about that here. So we'll start by cleaning up the coals here. Rotate our turkey. One more hole. Go over here and get some new coals. Okay, now you see over here, there's some potatoes here, I think. Yep. We're going to start our potatoes. We got a liner in there, and prep the potatoes like you normally would for baking them. You cut some slits with a knife in each potato so they don't explode, and then you put a cup to 2 cups of water down the bottom to create steam to help with the cooking process. We're going to use some charcoal here for the underneath the stove. And we're going to set that on top of bricks or stones to allow airflow underneath there to keep those coals going. And we'll set our potatoes right on top of that. And then we'll add some coals to the top of the oven.
I'm gonna put too much more in.
So the way these work then is that as you want to add food to it, you can then stack, and then the heat from the top of the other oven heats the bottom of the other oven. So we just wanted to get our potatoes on a little bit earlier because, as you can see, there was quite a bit of potatoes in there. So we'll get those going first, and stay with us, and we'll be adding some more food to our Dutch oven stack here. And the turkey's looking great. So. Okay, so we've been baking the potatoes for a while. We're getting ready to put on our stuffing and start our ham. Our turkey's still cooking away over there, and I'll show you how we change the coals. After so long, when you feel your coals really start to cool down, we use this, it's a lid lifter that you make by basically shaving down a stick. This is a broom handle. You could use any kind of stick you want. But basically you shave it down so that it fits in the lid here. And what you do is you wedge that into the handle of the Dutch oven. Pick it up, take it over to your fire, and just put those coals back in your fire. And place the lid back on without getting anything in your food. And then we're going to also change the coals out from underneath here. I'm going to grab my shovel. And I'll just temporarily move that rock. Scoop out the old coals. And then we're going to get in the middle of this fire here and get some good coals here. Good scoop of coals right back in there. Put our rock back where it was. Okay. And put that back. Okay, so then put some fresh coals on top of the potatoes. Then we're going to start our stacking process. Next is going to be our stuffing. And this takes quite a bit of coals, so you got to make sure you keep your fire going. Okay, then we're going to put our ham on top of that. And there you go. Still cooking, and as the heat rises through all of those, it's going to basically turn each one of those into an oven and keep the baking process going. So we'll be back here in a little bit when our food's almost done. So okay, so our Dutch oven stack's been going now for about an hour, and we're almost to a full rotation on our turkey. So after we make it the full rotation, we're going to go ahead and check the breast with a meat thermometer to see where the temperature's at. But we're going to right now start with checking our Dutch ovens here and see if our potatoes are cooking. The way you check those is you stick a knife in them to see if they're getting cooked or if they're soft. So we'll start pulling these off. This is our ham. This is our stuffing. And then our potatoes. that.
They look good.
Oh yeah, those are definitely done. When the knife goes, oh yeah. Okay, so those are done. We'll go ahead and just put the lid back on those and keep them warm. And then, should we check our stuffing here? Oh yeah, that looks good. See that cooked up in there real nice. So we'll just put the lid back on that too. A bit warm. And here's our ham. I think we're gonna just put that back on top of the coals and keep it cooking until we're ready to eat it. I think we'll just set that right back on top of the coals. And then we're gonna go ahead and change the coals on our turkey again. Rotate it. Rotate it one more notch. You can see we're almost all the way around where we started. Okay, so our bird's done. We checked it with the meat thermometer, and it's thoroughly cooked. We did swing it back around for about 20 minutes around the breast just to get the extra heat that the breast needed. So we're going to go ahead and take this off, take it inside, and let it rest for a little bit and carve it up. So here, I was going to take it off and show you what it looks like here. Got the smoke here. You can see, cooks up. You know, it did get black in a couple spots where we had some grease fires where we weren't out here, but I tell you what, this bird will have the greatest, smokiest flavor you can get cooking a turkey. So we're gonna take it in and enjoy it. Thanks for watching.